Welcome to Rapid Fire Crypto Rundown.
Ooh, I like that name.
Get ready for a crazy ride through November's biggest crypto moments, all thanks to the Milk Road newsletter.
Yeah.
Bitcoin booms, election surprises, and enough market mayhem to make your head spin. Are you ready for this?
Oh, absolutely. November was wild.
Yeah, it really was.
Definitely one for the books.
So let's jump right into it. First up, Bitcoin.
Okay.
It had an amazing November, a huge 37.29% monthly return.
Wow.
Which is the second highest this year. So what drove this surge?
Well, I think a big part of it was just the demand from ETFs and big institutional players.
Right.
We're talking companies like MicroStrategy who just kept buying Bitcoin like crazy. They're buying more than 5 times, sometimes 10 times faster than new Bitcoin was even being created.
Wow, that's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah. It's a sign that the big players are getting serious about Bitcoin.
It's a sign they're here to stay.
Yeah, they're not messing around.
And it wasn't just Bitcoin getting all the attention. The entire crypto market cap exploded in November, like a $1.19 trillion increase.
That's a huge number.
Huge. To put that in perspective,
Yeah.
imagine the entire crypto market back in February 2021.
Right.
That's how much it grew just last month.
That's incredible growth. And I think it really just shows that crypto is becoming more and more mainstream.
Yeah.
People are starting to see it as a real asset class.
It's not just a fad anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about Ethereum ETFs.
Okay.
They had record inflows, peaking at $333 million in just one day.
Wow.
So what's driving this institutional appetite for Ethereum? What do they know that maybe we don't?
It's not just about Ethereum as a digital currency anymore. It's bigger than that. Institutions are realizing that Ethereum is like this amazing platform for all sorts of decentralized applications, like all the DeFi stuff happening.
Definitely.
And this influx of money is really going to fuel some serious innovation and growth in the Ethereum space.
Very cool. Okay, buckle up for this next one because it's a real head scratcher.
Okay.
The U.S. just elected a politician with a background in NFTs and DeFi.
You're kidding.
I know. An actual crypto person in public office.
Okay.
What does this tell us about the growing influence of crypto?
It's a huge sign that crypto is breaking into the mainstream, It's impacting traditional areas like politics now. And this wasn't just some random candidate.
Right.
This person won a real election, which is just crazy to think about.
That is wild.
Crypto is becoming a part of everyday life, not just this niche thing anymore.
All right. So Gary Gensler, a major player in crypto regulation,
Yay.
stepped down from his position. What could this mean for the crypto industry, especially considering his kind of rocky relationship with the crypto at times?
Yeah, it's really hard to say for sure what's going to happen, but it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Gensler leaving could mean a fresh start for crypto regulation, maybe a more positive approach,
Right.
which would be amazing. Yeah, but it also creates a lot of uncertainty. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with the new leadership.
So there's like a feeling of anticipation, but also like, oh no, what's going to happen next?
Well, that definitely.
Now let's talk about altcoin ETFs. There's been a flood of applications for altcoins like Solana, Ripple, Litecoin, and Hedera.
A lot of action there.
Yeah. Does this signal a bigger shift in how institutions are thinking about altcoins?
Yeah.
Not just Bitcoin and Ethereum.
It seems like it. Institutions are starting to realize that all these different altcoins have their own unique strengths and use cases, and they want a piece of that. They're not just ignoring them anymore.
Right.
So it's a good sign.
So one altcoin that made a huge comeback in November was Ripple.
Oh, yeah.
It actually flipped Solana to become the third largest cryptocurrency by market value.
Wow.
And it added like a crazy $81 billion to its market cap. What's fueling this Ripple resurgence?
Well, for one, the launch of Ripple's own stablecoin is creating a lot of buzz. And then they've also won some big legal battles recently, which gives investors a lot more confidence in their future. It's not just hype. There's real stuff happening that's driving Ripple's growth.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about a really important court ruling on smart contracts.
Right.
The court decided that smart contracts aren't owned by any single entity.
Oh, it's huge.
I know. This is a big win for decentralization, but what does it actually mean for the average person?
Well, think of it this way. This ruling protects smart contracts from being controlled or manipulated by one person or organization.
Okay.
And that's super important because it means these contracts, which are used for everything from DeFi to NFTs, They're going to stay secure and autonomous.
So it's like having this digital rule of law.
Right.
Where the code, not people, have the final say. Which is pretty powerful when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
But November was just the beginning. We need to look ahead to December and see what's in store for the crypto world.
I can't wait. December's going to be exciting.
It really is.
Lots going on.
Okay, so let's break down all this December drama. You mentioned those macroeconomic factors.
Yeah.
So we've got pronouncements from Fed Chair Jerome Powell, the November jobs report, the December CPI report, and of course the big Fed meeting in December. How could all of these things impact the crypto markets?
Well, all these events, they kind of paint a picture of like the overall health of the economy, you know?
Right.
And that can have a big influence on crypto.
Yeah.
So like if the jobs report comes out and it's like way worse than expected, that could be a sign of a slowdown.
Right.
Which might make the Fed think about lowering interest rates.
Okay, so if interest rates go down,
Yeah.
then investors might feel a bit more adventurous and put money into riskier assets like crypto.
Exactly. But then on the other hand, if inflation is still a problem, like a big problem,
Right.
the Fed might actually decide to keep interest rates high or even raise them,
Yeah, well.
which could make investors more cautious and like put downward pressure on crypto prices.
It's like this constant push and pull.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out which way the economy is going to go and how that's going to affect crypto.
Yeah, it's hard to predict.
It is. Okay, let's move on to something a little more crypto specific. You mentioned token unlocks, and there's a big one coming up for JITO, JTO, the ticker symbol there.
Yeah.
Can you explain what a token unlock is and like why it matters to investors?
Sure. So basically, a token unlock is when a whole bunch of tokens that were previously like locked up become available for trading.
Okay.
This often happens with new projects,
Yeah.
as a way to encourage early investors or team members.
Okay, so they have like a stake in the project. And...
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their reward for being early supporters.
I see.
But sometimes this can cause the price to drop.
Oh, why is that?
Think of it like a rare collectible. If suddenly there's like a ton more of them on the market,
Right.
the price is going to go down at least for a little while.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Same thing with token unlocks. It's all about supply and demand.
Got it. So if you're holding JITO,
Right.
be ready for some price swings.
Yep.
Okay. Earlier, you mentioned that Bitcoin might dip in December.
Yeah.
Based on historical patterns.
Yeah.
I know we can't predict the future.
Right. Of course not.
But is there anything else that supports that idea?
Well, some analysts think that Bitcoin tends to follow these cycles,
Yeah.
And we might be due for a little correction after like the crazy highs we've seen.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But of course, this is just speculation.
Sure.
There are so many things that could affect the price.
Absolutely.
So who knows what'll actually happen?
You never know with crypto.
Exactly.
Speaking of unpredictable, let's talk about Solana.
Okay.
There are rumors of a big announcement coming soon. What could they be working on?
Well, Solana's been really active in DeFi, NFTs, and gaming.
Right.
So maybe it'll be something in one of those areas.
Yeah.
Maybe a new partnership, a big platform upgrade, or even like a brand new product.
Ooh, I can't wait to find out.
I know, me too.
Now, we can't talk about December crypto without mentioning the Santa Claus rally.
The what?
Yeah, the Santa Claus rally. It's like that time of year when markets magically surge towards the end of the year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think we'll see that happen in 2024.
It's possible historically bull markets do tend to get a boost around the holidays.
Yeah.
And crypto often follows those trends.
Right.
But then we also have to remember what's going on with the economy right now.
Right.
And the fact that this year has been totally unpredictable so far.
Yeah, that's true.
So while I'd love to see another Santa Claus rally,
Oh, for sure.
we should probably be prepared for anything.
Good advice. Now it's time to face a slightly less cheerful possibility.
Oh.
A potential market correction.
Uh-oh.
It's something we can't ignore, especially after the recent price surges.
Yeah, true. A little reality check is always good, even in a bull market.
Yeah.
Crypto markets tend to go in cycles.
Right.
What goes up must come down.
Yeah, eventually, at least for a bit.
Right.
So what can our listeners do to prepare for a possible market downturn? Like, how do we stay calm and not make bad decisions if things start to go south?
So how do we stay calm and not make bad decisions if things start to go south?
I mean, it's easier said than done right.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So what advice do you have for our listeners?
The first thing is don't panic.
Okay, good advice.
It's natural to feel anxious when the market's going down.
Right.
But remember that volatility is normal in crypto. It always has been and it always will be.
Yeah.
So take a deep breath.
Right.
maybe step away from the charts for a bit.
Yeah, go for a walk.
Exactly. And remember why you invested in crypto in the first place. Don't let short-term fluctuations derail your long-term vision.
Good advice. So what about like practical tips for managing risk during a market downturn?
Okay, so one thing you can do is set stop-loss orders.
Oh, that's a good one.
This will automatically sell your crypto if the price dropped below a certain level that you set.
Right.
So that can help you limit your losses. Another thing is dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Instead of putting in a big lump sum all at once,
Right.
you invest a little bit at a time on a regular schedule.
Makes sense.
That way, you're not buying everything at the peak, and you can kind of average out your entry point.
Smart.
And then the most important thing is diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
It's-
Spread that risk.
Exactly. Invest in a mix of different cryptos that you believe in.
Yeah.
And maybe even consider some other asset classes outside of crypto just to balance things out.
I think that's super important advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today. Any final thoughts for our listeners as we wrap up this deep dive?
You know, crypto is this exciting space.
Yeah.
But it's also really important to remember that it's still early days. We're just at the beginning of this journey.
That's a good point.
So be patient, be prepared for bumps along the way, and most importantly, never stop learning.
I love that. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of Rapid Fire Crypto Rundown. We hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour through November's crypto highlights and a sneak peek at what December might hold.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And as always, remember, this is just a taste of what's happening in the crypto world. For the full scoop, subscribe to the Milk Road newsletter. You can find the link in the description below.
Yeah, definitely.
And don't forget to share your thoughts, predictions, hopes, dreams, fears for December in the comments.
We love hearing from you.
Absolutely.
What are you excited or curious about in the crypto world? Let's chat.
Until next time, happy investing, and may your portfolios be merry and bright.
Happy holidays, everyone.